Let's be honest, right now the automotive world is split in two. On one side, you have America's tough restrictions on Chinese technology, those USA ban walls. On the other side, powerful and affordable hybrid machines are quietly arriving on Australian shores. Just imagine this. The same vehicles that are being crushed under 100% tariffs in North America are flipping the market upside down in Australia, where tariffs drop to around 6%. Now, the Tank 300 Hi4-T in front of us isn't just a car, it's both a huge opportunity and a serious financial risk. Why? Because on one hand, you're getting 400 horsepower. On the other, there's that lingering question, will this car still hold value in 5 years? In this video, I'm going to break it all down. Not why you should buy this car, but why you might want to think twice before you do. Sounds unusual, right? If you're ready, grab your coffee. Forget about that old SUV sitting in the corner, because the rules of the game have just changed. Now let's compare. For the same level of power and off-road capability, an American brand would cost you over $60,000 US. The real question is, can that $25,000 difference outweigh your safety concerns? I'm asking you as a viewer, is it really worth paying the price of another car just for the brand name? But don't rush. This lower price comes with a cost. And if you're someone who tries to balance price and quality, drop a comment below. Do you think this price difference is worth all the risks? This isn't just a car for city driving. This is the Tank 300 Hi4-T, a combination of a 2.0-liter turbo engine and an electric motor. And the result is insane. 400 horsepower and a massive 750 Newton-meters of torque. For comparison, those traditional diesel SUVs you praise so much feel like toys next to this. Out on the endless roads of the Australian outback or on the rugged mountain trails of America, of course, if you can even get it there, this kind of torque makes you forget everything else. But wait a second. The real story is the battery. A 37.1 kilowatt-hour battery gives you around 100 kilometers, 62 miles of pure electric range. What does that mean? Driving from home to work and back without burning a single drop of fuel. In the city, you glide around like a silent ghost. But the moment you hit the wild, it transforms into a true beast. Now let's talk about the risks of this vehicle. So far, everything sounds great, right? But now let's look at the other side of the coin. This is exactly where that you might not buy it if you knew this moment comes in. Great Wall Motor is a big company, but the Tank 300 has some chronic issues that no dealer will openly tell you about. Let's start with the first problem. Software. This is one of the biggest weaknesses of Chinese cars. Sometimes those impressive 360-degree cameras freeze, and other times the hybrid system randomly throws a check engine warning for no clear reason. The second problem is fuel consumption at high speeds. The official figures say 8 to 9 liters per 100 kilometers. Yes, but that's only under ideal conditions. If you're driving this car on Australian highways at 110 to 120 kilometers per hour, that brick-like aerodynamics can drain the fuel tank much faster than expected. And the third issue, spare parts waiting time. If a part breaks down in the US or in remote areas of Australia, you might end up waiting months for it to arrive from China. That alone can become a major inconvenience in your daily life. I didn't show you the interior design of this car because every channel talks about the same thing. Instead, I'm focusing on what really matters. I'm not going to bore you with details like seat leather or screen size. I'm going to explain the difference between petrol and electric, and which one actually benefits you. Now we've reached the part that directly affects your wallet. Let's look at charging and fuel costs. These numbers will either make you fall in love with this car or push you away from it. As of March 2026 in Australia, petrol prices are around $2.30 Australian dollars, $1.50 US dollars per liter. A traditional SUV easily consumes about 13 to 14 liters per 100 kilometers, 62 miles, which comes out to roughly 30 Australian dollars per 100 kilometers. In the United States, fuel costs may differ, but the upward trend is the same. So what does the Tank 300 Hi4-T offer? It comes with a 37.1 kilowatt-hour battery. With off-peak electricity rates in Australia, a full charge costs only about 7 Australian dollars, 4 US dollars and 60 cents, and that gives you a quiet, fully electric range of around 100 kilometers. Here's the comparison shock. Petrol, 100 kilometers equals 30 Australian dollars. Electric, 100 kilometers equals 7 Australian dollars. That's more than a 4 times difference. If you drive 15,000 kilometers per year just by charging regularly, you could save around 3,500 Australian dollars, 2,300 US dollars annually. But here's the catch. If you get lazy and don't charge the battery, you'll basically be driving a heavy brick carrying dead weight, high odds, and burning more fuel because of it. So do you think plugging in your car every night like your phone is worth that kind of savings? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's make a quick comparison. Imagine you have the Ford Ranger Raptor or the Jeep Wrangler in front of you. They've proven themselves over the years, no doubt. But they don't offer this level of technology at this price point. Also, don't forget, if the United States is placing restrictions, USA ban on vehicles like this, part of the reason is to protect local manufacturers. Meanwhile, in Australia, buyers have more freedom of choice. So is this an opportunity or a trap? My personal take is this: if you're someone who loves technology, isn't afraid of a bit of risk, and most importantly, doesn't want to drive a fuel-hungry tank every day, then this car is a great opportunity for you. But if you're the type who says, I just want to buy a car and not open the hood for 10 years, my friend, you might still be better off sticking with older Japanese or American models. Now let's come to the most sensitive issue, what we trust with our lives. People always say, Chinese cars are like paper, they fall apart in a crash. But let's look at the facts, because what you're about to hear about the Tank 300 Hi4-T might shock you. This vehicle has received a full 5-star rating from ANCAP, Australia's toughest safety testing authority. So that paper body people talk about is actually a high-strength steel safety cage. But there's a catch. In the United States, these vehicles are still viewed with skepticism. Why? Because the technology is so new that long-term durability testing hasn't fully played out yet. Battery safety. This is a hybrid. So what happens in a crash? Is there a risk that the 37.1 kilowatt-hour battery could catch fire? In this model, the battery is placed in one of the most protected areas of the chassis, inside a reinforced steel structure. Electronics versus mechanics. The car is packed with sensors, 360-degree cameras, automatic emergency braking, and more. But remember what I said earlier, the software can sometimes freeze. Now imagine you're driving at high speed and a safety system suddenly gives a false signal. That's a serious risk. Mechanically, this car is like a shield. Its steel construction will protect you, but its brain is still evolving. If you have an accident in Australia's wild terrain or remote forest roads, the structure will keep you safe. But who can guarantee that the electronics won't let you down at a critical moment? Now let's put aside all these technical numbers, horsepower figures, and everything written on paper. How luxurious the interior is, how big the screen is, all of that is just marketing decoration. I want to share my most honest opinion with you, like a friend. Because at the end of the day, you're the one sitting behind that steering wheel and paying that monthly loan. My personal opinion and conclusion on this topic is this: we are currently in a very strange transition period in automotive history. On one side, we have the old giants, proven over decades, but now outdated both technologically and economically. On the other side, we have young and ambitious players like the Tank 300 Hi4-T. This car is not just a means of transportation, it's a gamble. Yes, you heard that right, a gamble. But it's the kind of gamble where your chances of winning are actually very high. Why do I think this way? Because look, what have I been trying to explain to you since the beginning of this video? What's your real problem? Your problem is this: you want a car that's both powerful and durable. But every time you pull into a fuel station and see that 30 Australian dollar bill, it hurts. Your problem is that the modern world is pushing you toward electricity, but you still can't let go of that old off-road spirit. And this is exactly where the Tank 300 Hi4-T comes in. It plays right into that feeling of being stuck between two worlds. Here's the conclusion I've reached. If you're tired of burning money every single day, whether it's on Australia's harsh roads, in Sydney traffic, or on mountain roads in the United States, then this car can be a real game changer for you. Where would I personally put my money? If my budget was limited and I wanted to feel that extra 3,500 Australian dollars savings in my pocket every year, I would take this risk. Yes, the software might freeze sometimes. Yes, maybe I'd have to wait a bit longer for certain parts. But for me, that level of savings and the driving experience would absolutely be worth it. Don't forget those "you might not buy it if you knew this" points I mentioned. But don't be afraid of them either, because no car is perfect. Even the brands you praise so much have countless issues. We're just used to them. This, on the other hand, is a new kind of problem. but a surprisingly sweet one. My conclusion? The Tank 300H Hi4-T is one of the biggest surprises of 2026. It's reshuffling the cards in both North America and Australia. Your opinion means everything to me, because we're building this channel together. Do you think I'm right with this conclusion, or are you still skeptical about Chinese hybrid vehicles? Let's meet in the comments and have a deeper discussion there. Thank you sincerely for watching until the end. If this honest conversation was helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next behind-the-scenes analyses. Remember, the automotive world is changing fast, and we're right at the center of it. Take care of yourself and your wallet. See you in the next video. Goodbye.